Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Hope you're all smashing it. So today we're going to be doing a little upgrade on the f31 330D. Nothing major, basically replacing the air filter. So we'll go through how you do it. Dead simple process. I've gone for an upgraded filter, one of the Pipercross filters. Now these are supposed to flow about 30% more air. So when I do eventually get this mapped and get the DPF done, it should make a little bit of a difference. Might be a little bit quicker than Martin's, well that's what we're hoping. Now this one that I've gone for, it's the PP1930 Pipercross filter. Comes with everything to do it. It's a dry filter as well, worth noting, because a lot of your K&Ns and other filters, they've got an oil on them. Basically with that, it can basically clog your air mass up, play havoc with the engine. So as I say, we've gone for a dry one with these. Dead simple, lifetime warranty on them. Supposed to last the life of the vehicle. When it gets dirty, you just basically wash it off. You get all the instructions with it, tells you how to do it. Wash it off, dry it, refit it. Dead simple. Comes with everything to do it. Obviously you've got your filter, you've got a little adapter, so it should be quite an easy one to fit. It is worth also noting with these engines, I didn't actually realise, but doing a bit of research, you do actually get two standard filters for these vehicles. One's an M Performance filter and one's a standard filter. Now the difference between the two is on the standard filter there's basically a layer of foam across the back of the filter. On the M Sport filters it's just your filter, you don't get the foam on it, so they're supposed to flow a bit more air. So with this being the M Sport, I'm hoping it's got an M Sport filter on it, but we'll see. What I'll also do for you is just a little bit of an engine noise before and after, just to see if you get any slight induction, any change in note, anything like that. Just be interesting to see. Right, so let's get on with it. So it should be dead simple, this one. Basically we need to take this cover off, just a couple of poppers that hold it on, bit of pressure, should just pop up, he says. There we go, there's one. Two, three, and there was one in the front corner as well. So that's it removed. It's looking a little bit dirty under there, so we'll just get this out of the way. Now this section here is your actual air filter, so it should be dead easy to do. Just literally unclip this pipe just to allow a bit of access. You've got these clips here, one this side, one that side. Take those off and the old filter should just come out. So there's one, see if we can get this one, there's two. Ow. So just move that back. This should slide out. Oh, might need to give that a bit of a hoover. So there you go. Now apparently with the M Performance ones, you're not supposed to get that on the back. They're supposed to just be the filter. So it looks like when this was changed last, they haven't put the correct filter in. Right, we're going to get this hoovered, get the new one back in. So I've just had a quick go at fitting this, and it is quite a fiddly job. Now basically the filter fits into this metal shroud. That metal shroud's towards the back of the box. So if you can see down there, you've got two little tabs at the bottom. Basically you need to make sure this back panel here is as far back as possible. Slide it down, make sure it all locates, and then you can just clip it all back up again, and then this metal shroud just clips in and under the back there like with the standard filter. So let's have a quick go at putting it in. So with this, you're going to get this into the back of the cowling there, slide it all the way down, keeping the filter in situ. Now that goes in at the bottom, obviously just make sure you've located it. You can pop that into the front. This just pops down a little bit, clips into the back there, and then make sure it's all tucked in. It's a little bit fiddly. I can probably see why people don't do this all the time. There we go, that's in. Click that on, click that side on. Make sure we're all located at the bottom, nothing's loose. Let's have a quick look, and there we go. So I'll just show you what that looks like in situ. So as you can see, it's located at the top, it's clipped in at the back section there. This rubber seal's located, so if you look down there, I don't know whether you can see it, I'll try and get the torch in. All that's located down at the bottom. The bottom of the housing is nice and tight on, so I'll just clip that pipe back in, and there we go. Let's see what she sounds like. So now the air filter's in, just going to put the cover back on. Now with this, basically it pops in 1, 2, 3, 4 locations. Poppers are underneath, so just line it up with your oil filter. Should be quite easy. You just all pop back in nice and easily, check it's tight. There we go. So let's see if it sounds any different. Right, so Pipercross filter fitted. Was a little bit fiddly, I'm not going to lie to you, but relatively simple. One thing I would say, and I tried to show it on the video, there's 2 little tabs on the bottom of the filter housing. Make sure you don't unhook them, otherwise it's an absolute nightmare getting it back together. But the filter are fitted. Pipercross, as I say, part numbers PP1930. That's for the 330D rear wheel drive. The filter itself, that cost me, I think it was 58 quid from Pipercross delivered, which wasn't too bad, came within a couple of days. Now I'll have to go back on the videos, but I do think it's made a bit more of an induction noise on the car, and the one reason I think for that, which I'm not quite happy about, is obviously the standard filter. Now I bought this car from a dealership, just been serviced MOT before I bought it, so obviously that's why the filter is in pretty good condition. It's not really dirty, it's not covered many miles, but as I touched on at the start, this is a standard filter for a standard car, not one of the M Sport vehicles. As I say, the main difference is on the M Sport ones you don't get the foam on the back. I think the filters themselves are slightly narrower, so they do flow a little bit more air, so that is why I think I'm noticing a little bit more of an induction noise on it. Now I'm going to take it out for a quick drive, see if you notice anything under load with actual driving. I'm not expecting any kind of performance gains really, maybe 1-2 brake horsepower. I think the main difference will be when I finally get this car stage 1 mapped. That's where I might notice a bit more difference. Hopefully a little bit quicker than Martin's, but mine's heavier, but he does have a lot of stuff in his boots, so you never know, that one might go in my favour. But there you go. So I'm going to take it out, quick little drive, see what it's like. Right, so out in the car, Pipercross filter fitted, car's up to temperature. Been having a little bit of a blip in Eco Pro Comfort and Sport, just seeing the difference, seeing if you notice any kind of an induction noise on it under load. To be honest, as I expected, you can't really hear anything. As I say, it is a panel filter in the standard box, so to be honest that's what you'd expect. I do think it's got a little bit more on the pickup on the car when you put your foot down. I wouldn't really say any massive throttle response or anything like that. All the differences are pretty much marginal. Most people won't notice the difference. Is it worth fitting it? For me, yes, definitely. It's a lifetime filter. I do the servicing myself, so I'm never going to have to buy another air filter for it. Just literally whip it out, give it a clean, dry it off, put it back in. Great. If you're going to be taking your car to a garage, getting it serviced that way, is it worth it? Possibly not. Obviously the garages won't want to be pretty much touching that filter, I don't think. They're certainly not going to go through cleaning it. If they're going to replace it, they're going to put a standard filter back in. So it really depends on your circumstances and what you want out the car, really. I would say it's definitely worth it if you're going to be mapping your car, going for stage 1, stage 2, doing the intercooler, that kind of stuff. Probably more so if you're going to get it rolling road mapped, because they might be able to squeeze that little bit extra out of it. As I say, it's supposed to flow 30% more air, so it's got its pros and cons. We'll let you guys decide. Obviously watch the video, let us know what you think. Any questions, just put it in the comments. We'll get back to you, answer all your questions. So I think we're going to leave it with that, wrap it up from there. Like and subscribe, and we'll catch you in the next video. Cheers.